Okay, like I just said, today we're going to look at how you are going to develop a working resume. So this document is an important part for your future. This piece of paper represents you, your accomplishments, your knowledge, your experiences. So it's important to get it right, okay, and make sure it's accurate and concise. What we're going to look at, I got a video that I'm going to show from Southwestern PA Bots IQ that was recorded. It was a workshop that was done 2 years ago, but it's a good video. It's a valuable resource. It's a professional giving you advice on how to write a resume, what needs to be in it, what you should include, what you should look for, and what employers are looking for in you. So this document will represent you, like I said. This is probably the first impression. If you have not met an employer, this piece of paper is what they're going to get their first impression of you, okay, when you apply for a job. So we're going to make sure you know how to write it properly, what should be in it, and so forth. On your computers, you should have logged in, and on the shared folder, I have a bunch of resources for you that pertain to this. I have a link to the video where you can go back at any time. If you missed something today, when we show the video, if you missed something and want to review it later on, you can do that, okay? Also in here, what I passed out to you, the packet, that is your note-taking worksheet. That's based off the slide presentation that is part of the video, this recording. So use it, take notes. There might be a key piece of information that you want to make sure you include on your resume. How many of you have already written a resume? Okay, returning students, you should have, because we did it last year. You're a little bit ahead because you can update that. It's a working resume, meaning as you gain experience, it should change. If this is your first time writing a resume, you're in here as 10th grade, then you might not have as much information in it. That's okay. It's going to build. You're part of, we're in the Bots IQ organization. You are going to gain experience from this class, and that can all be put into your resume, and it needs to be reflected in there. Not for everything, but it pertains to whatever job you are specifically applying for, okay? So, also along with here, after the video, I'm going to pass out this personal inventory sheet. I have a printout for you. I want you to use that and fill it out with a pencil. Then I'll give you time. You'll probably, this will be a little bit of a homework assignment. You'll take that home and make sure all your information is accurate. I give you plenty of time to get that filled out with as much information as possible. Then when you come back tomorrow, we're going to use that personal inventory sheet and plug in the information in your resume, the necessary information. You might not include everything that's on that personal inventory sheet, but we're going to put in what is applied to this specific job that you're applying for, okay? We'll talk about that whenever we write the resume. It might be a general term. Your objective statement, you'll learn about that in the video, okay? They're also in here on the shared folder, you'll see the resume template that we're going to use. I would like everybody to use this one for this class, and that way they're all the same or look similar. And then afterwards, if you want to change the format around based on what you learned from this video or based on what job you might be applying for later on, this template might change. You might want to get a little bit more creative with it. You might not. You might want to stick to a more standardized resume. So this one is kind of one that fits in with what we do with Bots IQ. Okay. There's other resources that will be mentioned in the video. These action words for resume writing, you'll want to use that. Pay attention to that. And there's a build a resume workshop planning worksheet that was provided from this video, but most of what you need will be on your personal inventory sheet that you'll get after the video. All right. So let's find the video. And if you do happen to access this from outside of school, all those documents that I provided for you, other than the template for the resume, right here, there's a sample resume, so you might want to use that one. The planning worksheet, which is specific to this video, and also those action verbs. There's also some other resources on here for websites, jobhero.com, impact, how to put those bullet points in for work experience, and also a good resource for awards. I didn't get too far into that scholarprep.org, but it might be something you might want to look into on your own, and if you have more time, and see what that offers. Okay. All right, so let's start with the video. Okay, so we just finished up the video. Just want to highlight a couple things in that video, and you should have taken some notes along with that. This document that I passed out for you, it's available if you need it. Print it out, but you should have the copy already. So going down through there, some of the questions we need to answer. First thing, what's a resume? It was in one of those slides. How did they answer that question? What is a resume? Somebody, well, you tell me what you think a resume is. Okay, that wasn't your definition. That was what's on the paper. Okay. Yes, it is a formal document that summarizes your accomplishments and skills. So it represents you. Okay. Going on to some of the things inside there. There are how many key parts to a resume, in a resume, that they mentioned in here? Close. One more. 6 key parts. And those were being the header, objective statement, education, work experience, any leadership activities, community service, and honors, and then also any relevant skills. So those key parts to a resume. With the template that I provide for you, you might want to change it. That's fine, but it's a starting point. You have a sample resume that's provided from this video. There's all kinds of templates on Microsoft Word. If you type in resume template, you can come up with all kinds of different ones. Pick and choose your own. But for now, for what we're doing in this class, I would like you to keep them somewhat similar. Use the template that I gave you. You're not all going to look the same because they're all going to be different things in there, but I want you to use that template to start. One of the key parts of that template, and one of the things they mentioned in the video, was how your format, your font, your bold, italicized, your underlining, that formatting is important. You keep it consistent throughout. Okay. So in the past, whenever we've done this with this same exact template, you'll find it very easy to delete a section and then start typing something, and you deleted the whole line, and then all that formatting, the color or the bold text or underline, italicized, whatever, it's gone. So you actually change the format. So it's not consistent throughout that document. Be careful whenever you do that with the template. Keep that font or that format consistent. One thing that they pointed out was about your home address. You don't have to put your exact street number in there, wherever that was on here. You don't have to put your home address, right? Because you're going to, whenever you fill out a job application, it's going to be in there. But I would, if I was an employer looking for this, I would want to know at least your hometown, like they mentioned, but that gives the employer an idea, possibly, especially in our area, travel times, how that could possibly impact you showing up to work, right? We get a bad weather day or something, we cancel school, but you have to keep that in mind for work as well. If you're traveling an hour, then that's that much more time on the road that you're going to be impacted by bad weather. Whereas if you're 15 minutes away from this job site, that might be beneficial, highly beneficial for an employer, knowing that you're close, you can get there quickly if needed, whatever the case may be. So back to that home address, I'll leave that up to you. You don't have to put your exact street number, street address, but I would recommend that you put your hometown and that information on there. They mentioned about the GPA. If it's below 3.0, don't put it on there. It's probably not the best idea, but also if it's not on there, the employer might ask about it. So be prepared to explain, hey, what's your GPA? Why didn't you put it on your resume, or so on? Like they mentioned, you might have had a difficult year. Maybe you took some advanced classes that you weren't ready for yet. So that might have affected your GPA, and that's a understandable thing. Okay. What else did you notice, or what notes did you take from the resume or from this video? Anything that you wanted to point out, wanted to share right now? Nothing? All right, well then I want to highlight one more thing. Whenever you're into that work experience and you're developing those statements, those key points to put on your resume, make sure you utilize that tool. It's a valuable tool. Include those action verbs so that it sounds good, right? Make it appropriate. Those couple slides on how to develop a good impact statement, you answer those 4 questions, and then you can put a good impact statement together, okay? Based on your work experience. Identify the task that you performed on that job. Identify the skills that were used to complete that task. Identify how it impacted your work or the project that you were working on. And then you can develop, based on those 3 things, you can develop that fully defined work experience, work impact statement. Okay? Any questions? No questions? All right. So that leads me to the next paper that I passed out to you, the printout, your personal inventory sheet. This one, write on it, take it home, give you time to fill out the information, write on it in pencil. Okay. You'll use this to gather your information. And then later on tomorrow, I want you to bring this paper with you with all your information, and you're going to import it or edit it onto the digital copy online or on the shared folder. So it's saved on the shared folder. This document will be important to keep updated as well as your resume. So as you go through this course, you're going to gain experience. You're going to gain different skills, I hope, right? That's what you're here for. So as you learn how to write a CNC program, that's skills. CNC operator. As you gain certificates, whether it's through the Bots IQ Academy or the Tooling U, put those on here. But remember, you're limited in space, so you got to prioritize what job you're applying for, what information you want to include in there, okay? But keep this document updated. When I'm gone, it's up to you, right? So use it, okay? We'll look at that again tomorrow. Any final questions before I let you start filling that paper out and looking at some of those other resources that are in the shared folder? Okay. All right. Well, start filling out that paper. Start filling out your information. tomorrow we'll look at the template, the resume template.